Hi, welcome to the channel. You may know by now that Anthony Joshua, the British Nigerian former world heavyweight boxing champion, was involved in a car crash, a serious road accident on the Lagos Ibadan Expressway in Ogun State yesterday. The crash happened around 11 a.m. local time. He was a passenger in a Lexus SUV. According to the Federal Road Safety Corps and Ogun State Police, they say the vehicle lost control while overtaking and then collided with a stationary truck that was parked at the roadside. Preliminary findings also suggest that there was excessive speed and improper overtaking, which were the key factors. That happens a lot. A lot of the road accidents you see are actually due to that. Some reports also mentioned the possibility of a tire bursting, which contributed to the loss of control, but that detail hasn't been confirmed yet. Now, Joshua sustained minor injuries and was conscious and taken to a hospital for treatment and observation. He was reportedly stable, didn't require emergency surgery, and was receiving medical checks. However, two other people in the same vehicle were killed in the crash. They were identified as Shino Chami, his strength coach, and Latif Ayodele, his trainer, who were both members of his team and close friends. That's a sad one. What a tragedy. Another occupant was injured, and two others reportedly escaped without injuries. Joshua was in Nigeria following his recent boxing return, just days after he knocked out and broke Jake Paul's jaw in Miami earlier in December. He has deep family ties in Nigeria, as his parents are Nigerian, and he also spent part of his childhood in Ogun State. Investigations have been opened into the exact cause of the events that led to the crash, but speeding and dangerous overtaking are the main reported factors so far. In a nutshell, Joshua survived a serious highway crash with only minor injuries, but two of his close friends sadly died. Um, Overspeeding and wrong maneuvering caused the SUV to hit a parked truck. AJ has also put out a post about not visiting Nigeria again, which I understand because he's in pain and it could happen to anyone. As a matter of fact, I know someone who lost two work colleagues and lost interest in the job. So it does happen. I mean, trauma can do a lot, it goes a long way. So, what lessons can we learn from this tragedy? Nigeria can be a lawless place. And the first place where you see an example of that lawlessness is, of course, in the roads. Road manners are almost non existent. Laws are broken like Jake Paul's jaw is right now. People drive the wrong way like it's nothing. Now, that truck should have had a caution sign. Yes, it should have. Like when you're driving and you have your car breaks down, there's usually this triangle that you're supposed to bring out and put some distance, before the vehicle so that if anyone's coming, they know that there's something wrong there. Now, there's also, in the absence of that, I've seen this many times. Sometimes trucks, they even go as far as taking tree branches, well, not big branches, just like little pieces of plants, and they put it behind the truck. And that's also another way of warning people that there's something wrong and you need to work your way around the vehicle that's parked there. But as the report goes, the driver lost control. So who knows? The truck really should have had a caution sign. Maybe that would have helped. There's even an unconfirmed report that suggests that AJ was nearly taken to the hospital in an auto rickshaw. What's an auto rickshaw? That's the proper name for what we Nigerians call keke. That's right. He was almost, I don't even want to picture AJ in one of those being taken to the hospital. He was finally taken to the hospital in a police vehicle, but no ambulance showed up. Even though I know that there's emergency services along that road. So what happened? AJ is a lucky man, however, because of where he was sitting. Now, why do I think so? Now, here's my 2 cents. I've often heard it said that the safest place to sit when you're in a passenger vehicle and you're not the driver is directly behind the driver. Now, the logic is if anything were to happen, instinctively, the first thing the driver would do is to steer away from the obstacle. He can't help it. He won't even have time to think. Instinctively, the driver would just steer away from the obstacle and maybe even hit the passenger side, bash the passenger side instead of where he's sitting. And if you are directly behind the driver, in the process of instinctively trying to protect himself, he would protect you as well. Now, I saw a depiction of the vehicle and how it slammed into the truck, and it looked like that's what happened, which is why the passengers that got fatally wounded were the ones on the passenger side, the one beside Anthony in the back seat, and the one on the passenger side in the front. Now, there's a million and one possible scenarios, and oftentimes accidents happen with no warning in a split second. But in this case, that's likely what saved Anthony Joshua's life. And even though it's still a tragedy, he must be going through it right now, being that he lost two close friends. And yes, I can understand why he wouldn't want to come back to the scene of where such a tragedy occurred. We wish him well, and all our prayers are with him and his family through this trying period.